let me do a little disclaimer real quick. Please note that this is not meant to be historical accurate, because I'm a steampunk, and steampunk is not about historical accuracy, but about being historical inspired and doing some fantasy stuff. And I thought, I want a bustle dress for my steampunk wardrobe, so this is just a store-bought pattern and not meant to be historical perfect, so please don't roast me because of it. Historical accuracy was not my goal with this one. So this is nearly finished. Just some minor hand stitching that needs to be done. And this was the first time that I've documented my progress with this on Instagram, and I've received so many comments that I probably will do this again, and this is also the reason why I'm making this video right now, because a lot of the comments that I received was that this is so perfect and that I'm so talented. I know you're meaning this as a compliment, but it's not talent. I've been watching a lot of the costumers videos while sewing, and one was Kathy Hay, and she talked about talent and exactly this comment, and I totally agree with her. It's not talent, it's practicing. I've been sewing since I was around 11 or 12. I'm not a professional tailor, I did not learn this, I'm self-taught. My grandmother showed me a lot of stuff, and there is YouTube where you can learn a lot. And yes, that means that I've had practice for nearly 20 years now. So this is not perfect and I'm not talented. I'm just willing to learn and to improve. Because if you compare this one to the last one that I've made, it's a huge step. And this one, I also learned a lot with this one. And although I'm really proud of how this turned out, and for me it's one of the best things that I've done so far, it's still not perfect, and I want to show you where it's not perfect, so you realize even though it might look pretty good, it still is not perfect. So just have a look. Okay, when you look at the front, these are not parallel. This one is longer than this, and the angle is not right, so this is some of the stuff that is definitely not perfect. Also, this front line here is not straight. This is why I had to sew down this pin tuck in the front, and you can see it here. They are not folded like super neat. This is why I started to sew down all the flaps by hand here. I will need to do that here. I also cut corners with the cuffs because one side of this here has fusible interlining inside, but with doing that and then pressing it, I had to make sure that the lined side is on the outside. Yeah, and stupid as I am, I've put the lining on the wrong side of this one, so I could not just put it inside how it should have been put inside. But I was too lazy, so instead of making a new one, I just, turn it around a little bit, and you can see it here, like, yeah, this seam should align with this here, and yeah, it's not. But who cares? Seriously. And on the back side, there was no pattern for this because it's only a strip of fabric, so I just sewed a strip and then just held it on to check the length. And when I was satisfied, I thought, yeah, well, just do a final pressing, and yeah. My iron was too hot, and you can see what it's done to the fabric, but I couldn't be bothered to make a new one because who cares? It's on the inside. A proper tailor would have done this again without, the ironing marks, but I'm not a proper tailor, so this is what I went with. What I am really proud of is the collar, because I did stitch the inside down by hand, so it is like super neat for my taste, and this is something I did learn. You see, I always thought that a proper tailor or a seamstress they are so skilled, so they would do everything by machine, and that's why I tried to do everything by machine, also like the color, and I would have had a seam on the outside, so it wouldn't look good. And by watching all the costumers and seeing that they did so much by hand, I'm not talking about Bernadette Banner here because she's like the queen of hand sewing, but this made me realize that sewing by hand is not a sign that you are not a good seamstress or tailor. In fact, it's the other way around. If you can do beautiful hand sewing seams, then you're probably really good in what you're doing, and sometimes it's really worth to slow down and do this stuff by hand, because the outcome is so much more prettier. I could have pinned down like the cuffs. I did a quick basting around here by hand. I could have done that by machine, but it probably wouldn't have turned out like this. So now the lining just stays inside the sleeve, so it's a lot nicer like that, and I'm kind of really proud that I took on hand stitching again, because yeah, it's not a sign that I'm not a good tailor. I just want it to be beautiful when it's finished, and this color is really pretty, because I'll show you what I've did with the last jacket that I made with this pattern, and you will laugh. And when I checked that jacket, because I didn't exactly knew how to do this one, so I thought, yeah, let's go back to the last one that you've made to have a look on how that was done. And yeah, that color, it's a mess. Just look at this, how wonky that is. It won't stay up. It's just, now this on the inside is just so much too long. And yeah, I think I will unpick that and do that again by hand, because what I did here, I tried to sew the color down with a machine, and there is a seam here, and that's not, yeah, no, I I don't know, I just, what was I thinking? Seriously. And this is something that I've learned with making this jacket and making this jacket, because this looks like a proper color. And so it's not talent, it's learning, and be willing to learn something new. Okay, so why did I do this video? Well, you probably know that feeling, seeing all the pretty pictures others post online of their perfect creations or their progress, and they are so much quicker than yourself, and you start to compare yourself with them. And this can sometimes be really discouraging, because they are so much quicker, so much better than yourself, and you think, well, I can never be as perfect as them. So I just realized that it's really important to see the imperfections. So I decided to show you the imperfections of this one here, because there are a lot, and you might not see them when I just post a pretty picture of this. And the thing why I'm doing this now is because I've watched a lot of the costuming YouTubers, costumers like Bernadette Banner or Costuming Drama, and seeing their progress and seeing they cut corners too, they are not perfect, made me realize that I don't have to be perfect too, and that it is important to see the imperfections. So I just wanted to show you what is not perfect about this. And it's okay to not be perfect, because you will be learning along the way, like I did with the hand stitching here. And maybe you find seeing this with my project and hearing me talk about that a little bit encouraging and maybe motivating to start sewing again, or doing whatever you want to do, because I definitely needed this like 2 weeks ago to start over, because this had been sitting about over a month without me doing anything about it. And starting watching others and seeing that they struggle too and that this is perfectly normal was definitely a huge motivation for me. So maybe you'll find that too, and if you want to, I will be making a fitting bustle skirt for this one. Again, not historical accurate because I'm a steampunk, but I'll be using the truly Victorian patterns, though they are at least a little bit more historical than this one. And I think I'll post the progress again on Instagram if you want to follow along, because last time I did that made me do this video, and I got a lot of comments, and that it was really encouraging for me. So I'll probably do that again, and maybe I'll film that and put this on here too, but I'm not sure yet because this whole video stuff is like totally new for me, and I'm just trying this one out. So thank you for watching, and maybe be creative as well. Thank you.